Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an awesome day so far. In today's video, I am talking to you about makeup brushes. So if you're interested, then please keep watching. And I want to give a shout out to my girl Nasima, who is always watching these videos and actually sparked my interest to make this video because she had some questions about makeup brushes. So thank you for asking, because this turned out to be a really great video to make. This is for you. So if you guys are interested, if you guys are wondering what kind of makeup brushes you should be using, what kind of brushes I use and why, then absolutely please keep watching. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe because you're already here. So you might as well just do it. And also, if you guys leave a comment on this video, I will shout a few of you out in my next video. So make sure you leave a comment because, again, you're here, you already liked, you already subscribed, you might as well just do it. So if you guys are interested, then please keep watching and let's get into the video. So I'm gonna kind of walk through how I do my face makeup. First thing I do is obviously primer. I just rub that in with my hands. So that's these done. And then the next thing I do is foundation. And for years, I have been using the Real Technique sponge. I've ventured off to different brushes and then I always venture back to this, and I use this for like literally a year, and then I'll try a brush for a month or two and I come back to this. So I really don't use a brush for my foundation just because I personally like a little bit of lighter application, and I like when you can see, like, you know, all the little things that my face has to offer, like, you know, sun damage and you know. I go in with a sponge because then that way I'm also not feeling like I'm too caked on. I don't have to worry about like any streaks on my face, whatever. This is like the perfect lazy girl makeup tool. This is what you need. Now on to like concealer and cream contouring. For the most part, I will use my sponge for that as well. I apply the concealer to my face with a wand and I will blend it out, and then the cream contour I usually will put on the back of my hand and blend it in with a sponge. Just dip and blend. So that's that. However, if I were to do a cream contour and I want to actually put it down with a brush first, then I will probably use something like a very small dense foundation brush, which I will pop up here on the screen because I don't have one with me because I just don't really use it. But I just think it's personally easier to grab the product off your hand and just blend it in right away, because it's harder to, you know, blend out a straight line that's now on your face of like contour of something that's absolutely not your real shade. It's just easier for me to just put it where I want it and blend it in that way. So that's that. Now that we've got all that out of the way, the brushes. Here we go. So to set my under eye, which would end the rest of my face, but not yet, under eye first. So once my foundation is on, once I've done my cream contours and my highlights, then I'm ready to start using powders and set my face. So for my under eye, I've been using this BH Cosmetics brush in the number 125. So this is just a small tapered brush. It's very loose, very fluffy. You can pack on a lot of product if you want to, but at the same time, this is not a brush I would recommend packing a lot of product onto, just because when you start to apply it to your face, it's going to kind of fall off and just be all over your face, which if you're using a translucent powder, that's probably okay. However, not ideal. So I pick up a little bit of translucent powder and I will just start to pat it under my eyes and everywhere that I've applied concealer. And it's also perfect for kind of getting up and setting the sides of your nose. It's also really perfect if you want to do sharpen your cheekbone contour. You can run translucent powder right down, like pretty much all the way to your chin, and it's just like the perfect size. It's not going to pack on an extreme amount of product if you don't want it to. And then I will still, like, my jawline I will kind of bake, but I never bake my under eye or my forehead, just because my skin is dry already and that kind of just accentuates it to me personally. So if you're baking under here, this is also a great product to just, you know, tap off whatever excess is on there, and when you're done baking, you can literally just blend it off. It's perfect for that. So this has been an absolute staple. Like, it fits right here between my eyes when I conceal. It's perfect for precise setting. That's what I use it for. So now onto the rest of my face. This is the brush that I was talking about just now, and here is another brush I use. It's from the same collection from BH Cosmetics. This is number 124. This one I use a little less though, because I tend not to set my face unless I'm feeling very like wet and greasy from any kind of foundation. So to set my face, what I do with this is I will dip into the translucent powder, and I won't try to get rid of any excess product. Like, I don't mind if there's an immense amount on here, and I will just go all around my face and kind of get real messy. So this is something that I do before I put on any mascara or any lips or anything that is liquid on my face other than like foundation and creams, because I will just go around my whole face and wherever I want to set, and then I can just swipe it off and blend it in, and then it's done. So this is what I use to set my face. Like I was saying, it's pretty tapered, pretty similar to the last brush, but just like a little bit bigger. It's got that the same look. She's the same family, just a little bit bigger. You can also use a brush that looks more like this, that is a little, this is definitely less dense and more fluffy than this one is. This one has, like, you can feel when it's thicker, and when you squeeze these together, they're like pretty much almost the same size. It's just that this one looks so much bigger because it's not as dense. So this is also totally acceptable. I've used this to set my face before too. I've just, for whatever reason, have been picking this up. So just use a large, fluffier brush. It doesn't need to be this dense. It doesn't need to be this fluffy. It's kind of whatever you've got, but this will also work for setting your face. The next thing I go in typically is either with a powder contour or a bronzer. This is the e.l.f. Total Face Brush. For bronzer, most of the time I'm just doing like a wash of color on my face, and this is perfect because I'm looking for that large, not precise application, and I also don't want a ton of it on my face. So a super fluffy, not dense brush is perfect for any kind of bronzer, because you can just tap tap, pick it up and swirl it on and be done. If you're just bronzing, you're not worrying about that nice clean contour line. You're not worrying about it looking perfect, because the purpose of bronzer is to have that like, ooh, excuse me. You know, you're just putting the bronzer where the sun would hit it anyway. So now for contour, I mentioned this in my how to contour video. I've had this brush for probably 4 years, and it looks like that, and I need to get a new one because I don't even know what this is anymore. All I know is I bought it from Morphe, and I will try my best to find it and leave it linked down below. I want to say this is like an E45, but I'm not 100% sure, so check out my description box if you're interested in it. This is an angled brush. I love it for contouring my face, and here's why. So I'm gonna dip back into what I was saying in my contouring video, like how to contour. So I like start with the brush like this, and I get this whole cheekbone area, and then I will transition it down to like a skinnier, more tapered contour. So as you can see, I have a more amount of contour up here, contour powder up here, and it tapers down my cheekbone. So this is perfect for that. This is going to give you a nice clean line because there's not, you know, bristles going everywhere. This won't really give you a clean line because you don't know what's happening to the brushes on the underside of what you're not seeing. It's going below that line. So we don't want that when it comes to contour. When it comes to contouring like my forehead, as you can see, I pretty much leave this whole area here where the light is hitting me uncontoured. So I do like the entire part of this area and the middle of my forehead, and so you don't need this brush for it, but it definitely helps. And then for my jawline, I like to stick it right here and just like literally drag down, and it is so ridiculously easy. So I can't get enough of this brush. I need to buy more and have backups. And it doesn't even need to be this exact Morphe whatever. It just like try an angled brush out. You might really like it. And then for nose contour, this is the brush that I've been living and dying by. I can't get enough of it. This is the Sigma Sigma Soft Focus Shader in the style E52. So it's a small brush. It's pretty dense. This, I don't even know what soft focus shader means. I don't even know what this brush is used for, which, by the way, there's a discount code floating up around here somewhere if you're interested in it. I got you, girl. What I do is I pick the product up like on the side, and I will start to stamp out where I want to go. This isn't a brush that you blend with like circular motions. This is a packing and placing and dragging brush. So I pack all the way down my nose, and then I will drag the contour down like that. And this brush has been perfect for it because you're not getting crazy bristles that are going everywhere. This is very controlled, and if you want even more of control, it's just like a very thin brush anyway, the tip of it, so you can literally draw on with the tip, but I prefer just to draw on with the side because I know I'll be dragging it down the side of my nose anyway. But I can't recommend this enough. This is like my holy grail nose contouring brush. Sorry, I'm having a hard time getting my words out today. So once contour and bronzer is done, then I will move on to my blush. And for blush, I have two options for you guys. Wow, you can barely see this one because it's black. So this is an e.l.f. complexion brush, and when I do bronzer, when I'm using this brush as my bronzer brush, I will most likely accompany this brush with it for my blush, and that's because I'm just washing that color on my face. I just want that rosiness. I kind of want it to be almost like a little bit of everywhere, so I'm not worried about precision. And this has a great blending ability. You can do the circular motions, you can pat it on your face. I really like this brush. This is kind of like, it looks like it has the same idea as this brush, but it's just like a little flatter on the side like that, whereas this one is just round the whole way around. This one kind of has a skinny side to it. But yeah, so I recommend using something like this just to go with that naturalness of bronzer. But when I'm contouring, I am using an angled brush just like I do with my contour. This one is the BH Cosmetics, I don't know, it's not really saying. It's the polka dot brush. The bristles up here are actually white, but I've been using it for blush, obviously. So I kind of do the same thing that I do with my contour, except starting back here, I start like up by my temple, and I will literally just stamp it on. And you can flick it back. You can do all kinds of techniques you want with this brush, but this has been my like #1 go-to brush for like probably the last 3 years. So I highly recommend it. You just don't want something big and your blush all over if you are doing a precise contour. So I tend to pair like brushes with whatever I'm doing. So this is like my bronzer and blush duo for just bronzing, and this is like my contour and blush duo for more precision makeup. So precision makeup, you typically have more of a tapered brush, and you typically also have a much smaller brush than when you're just kind of doing a wash on your face. Don't get me wrong, a wash still looks good. I still absolutely use these, but on days when I'm looking for a clean cut line, these are what I use. So next up for highlights on your cheekbones and in other areas of your face, I'll show you where I do it. This is the brush that I have been using to apply. This is the Morphe E31. This is also a brush that's like totally worn off. This brush is nice and fluffy. It's not going to pick up way too much highlight, which is exactly what you want. You don't want to overdo it because yes, there is such a thing as too much highlight. It will make you look cakey, it will accentuate pores, and it's just not a good look to overdo it. So this brush, even if you pick up what you think is a lot of highlight, will disperse it very evenly on your cheekbones. I typically just kind of like swirl it around, tap off any excess, and will just apply straight to my face and do a couple swipes, and that is like perfect amount of highlight for me. So I also kind of do the same thing on my chin, except on my chin I kind of just like start in the middle and just like almost flick it down, because I have never loved a really accentuated chin highlight. I don't know that anyone has, but that's just my personal preference. So I use it for my cheekbones and my chin, and if I'm feeling lazy or rushed, then I will also use it for my Cupid's bow area. Now onto more precise highlighting for like my eyebrows, my nose, and my inner corner, and also my Cupid's bow when I'm not feeling lazy. I use this brush, which is a brush that I got from Michaels. I will try to leave it linked down below, and by Michaels, I mean Michaels the craft store, so this was like $2. And it has served me very well. So when I am doing my highlights for those precise areas, I don't pick the product up right on the tip. I pick it up on the side of the brush, and I will do my Cupid's bow, this area. For my nose, I do a little dot in the center, and then I drag it down the center here as well, and I kind of make a little bit of an exclamation point, and I will just blend it out with my fingers. And you want this brush to be very precise if you're doing a contour on your nose as well, because if you get too out of line, if your highlighter is like too wide or, you know, not really where it should be, then it kind of ruins the entire nose contour, because the point of your contour is you're trying to make your nose look slimmer, you know, that plastic surgery look. And if you have a highlight making the bridge of your nose appear wider, then you've really not done anything except just accentuate your nose. So you haven't made it look slimmer if you have a wide highlight. So you definitely need something really small. For brow bone highlight, this is great because I like just enough to see that something's there. I don't like when the brow bone highlight is like halfway down the eyelid. So I normally just dip it in and just do a couple swipes, and that's it. And then for my inner eye corner highlight, what I do is I kind of have the brush, like it just fits perfectly in here, and I bring it up onto my lid, and then I will also bring it up this way too, and it's perfect for fitting right in here. So this brush has been a total godsend. I cannot recommend it enough. I will try to link it down below. Just look for something small like this. It's like a small detail-y shady brush. It's perfect. And then the other brush that I wanted to mention, which I don't know if you guys are into this or not, this is an e.l.f. concealer brush, and I will use this to like clean up around my lips if I have something that's starting to bleed out and not look super precise. And I have another one of these that I also use to clean up the underside of my eyebrows with. I don't normally fix the top of my eyebrows, like I fill it, like I shape them where they should be, but I don't go in with concealer and do that whole, you know, cleaning up on the top side of my brow, just because to me on my face a more kind of natural looking brow looks best on me. And then I will use this underneath my brow. I'll start pretty much in my, what is that, the arch of your brow, and I kind of use like the very tip. It's very small, very pointy, so I'm using, like I keep the product way up at the top, and I'll just use that part of the brush to, you know, clean out the tailbone area. Tailbone? Tail of the brow? I'm not sure if that's right. And then I'll drag it in and drag it slightly down, and then I just blend that in with my finger. And then I would say the final thing that I do with my makeup is set my face. And once I set my face, I use the flat edge of the sponge to then blend everything in and just kind of make everything one seamless makeup look. And then that's it, I'm done. So those are the brushes I use, and that's why I hope that shed a little bit more insight for you guys as to why I'm using these brushes in every single makeup video, because I do. And I just wanted to give a shout out again to my girl Nasima here on YouTube. She's always watching my videos, so thank you so much. Always leaving comments, always liking. So thanks again for recommending this video or asking questions, because this was like a really good video to make. So thank you again, girl. That's about it. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because again, you're here, so you might as well just do it so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.